Hi everyone, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to another episode of Happy Chirp. I have a very energetic person with me today whose energy I personally really love, and you all probably know her for her content that she puts on Instagram, and she works with her husband on Patangir as well. I have Amtul Baweja with me all the way from Karachi.
Hello, मैं सिर्फ इस podcast के लिए आई हूँ कराची से इस्लामाबाद. No, that's not true. But
How could I get so lucky?
I know only for Hamna I am here. और इतनी लंबी flight लेके पता है पूरे 2 घंटे की कराची से इस्लामाबाद for this.
How are you?
I am so happy to be here.
I'm so happy you're here.
Yay!
How come you were in Islamabad?
So basically, long story short, I was traveling up north. For a while, Fahad and I were thinking to get out of Karachi because you know how Karachi is, it sucks you in, especially like work-wise and everything. इतनी busy life होती है और सब कुछ. तो हमने कहा अच्छा हमें निकलना है. So we were planning for a while कि we want to come up north, especially Skardu, because I came to Skardu in September for a branded project and Fahad didn't come. And when I came back, and I was like, Fahad, you have to go back to Skardu with me because it is amazing. Like I fell in love with Skardu because it's such a different terrain, like the cold desert, मतलब पीछे mountains, बीच में desert, बीच में river भी जा रहा है, like lakes भी हैं, like it's insane. And I was like, Fahad, we will enjoy like filming over there so much. Like apart from enjoying the scenery, we will enjoy filming a lot too. So you have to come back. So तब से we were like, yeah, we have to go, yeah, we will go together, we'll go. And then especially after our dog Zuko passed away,
You needed that.
Exactly.
Getaway.
Yeah, we needed that reset. You know, we had to press that reset button. Just get away from Karachi, from work, from all of that. Just start fresh. तो बस फिर हमने कहा कि ठीक है around Jan या Feb जाते हैं. And then we were just planning. उसी वक्त Red Bull का एक project came about. It was a skiing event in Swat.
A lot of people went there.
That was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. We skied for the first time. I fell a lot, hurt my bum, and yeah, really badly, but it was worth it. So yeah, so we were like, ठीक है, चलो ये event आ गया है. It's a project, so let's do that. और उसके बाद let's go to स्कर्दू. So yeah, अभी मैं मालम जब्बा में थी, स्कर्दू में थी, अब हम इस्लामाबाद में हैं 2 दिन के लिए, and then back to Karachi.
Great, I'm so glad you were able to make time for this as well.
Yes, I'm happy.
Okay, so Amtul, one of the things I want to do here on this little podcast with you is have people see more into you.
Yeah.
ठीक है?
Yeah.
Because you do a particular sort of content. हम content की भी बात करेंगे. I want to talk about that as well. But we want to get to know more about you.
Yeah.
And personally, like we've known each other online mostly, and we've known each other through each other's content as well.
Exactly.
So I personally don't know much about you as well.
Yeah.
So it's like getting to know you more personally as well. And I would want people to know more behind the Amtul that we get to normally see in the content that you create, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So, tell us a little about yourself before this content journey began and how the content journey then started. So, you know, talk a little about your life, a little about your background, कैसे शुरू हुआ और अब जो ये सब हो रहा है, what led to that?
Yeah, it's a very long story.
And this is a very open-ended question.
I am open!
So you can start from wherever you feel like.
I think I would start with my love for theatre and acting.
ठीक है.
And just performance.
ठीक
You know,
है.
I think that's one thing that led me here. I think that's the key thing. जब से मैं छोटी थी ना, मुझे बहुत शौक था एक्टिंग करने का. मतलब मैं मक्खी से लेके दरख्त तक बनने के लिए तैयार थी बचपन में कि बस मुझे एक्टिंग करने का मौका मिल जाए. Literally, I've been a दरख्त, I've been a मक्खी, I have done everything because I just love being on the stage, you know, just performing. I feel like there's something that come naturally to you, and I felt like that was one thing that really came naturally to me.
Some people are naturally performers.
Yeah. And I don't want to brag, but I think
You are.
It
It's
comes
in
to
you.
me. Like, तो I think journey वहाँ से शुरू होती है. And fast forward, A levels, O levels, स्कूल में जब भी स्कूल में कोई भी play होता था, skit बनानी है, कुछ भी करना है, सबसे आगे मैं ना लिख भी रही हूँ, बना भी रही हूँ, characters भी बना रही हूँ, act भी करना है, like really into it. Fast forward LUMS, that's where I went from my undergrad. वहाँ पे मैंने drama line join की, which was a dramatic society, and वहाँ पे भी मैंने acting करनी शुरू की और सब कुछ. लेकिन वहाँ पे मुझे एक चीज़ फील हुई जो मुझे एक्चुअली ए लेवल्स में भी फील हुई थी. कराची ग्रामर स्कूल आई वेंट एंड पीपल हु आर फ्रॉम कराची दे नो इट्स एन एलीट स्कूल एंड एवरीथिंग. तो बहुत फनी चीज़ है. तो वहाँ पे मैंने भी कोशिश की टू गेट इनटू थिएटर एंड एवरीथिंग. तो वहाँ पे थोड़ा सा ओजी और न्यू जी का सीन होता है, लाइक यू नो ओल्ड ग्रामेरियन एंड न्यू ग्रामेरियन. सो एवरीबॉडी लाइक
आई नो अबाउट इट.
हाँ, सब कह रहे थे तुम भूल जाओ कि तुम्हें इंग्लिश वाले प्ले में तुम्हें पार्ट मिलेगा, आप बिल्कुल भूल जाए बिकॉज दे विल ऑलवेज चूज द यू नो they're OGs and who've been acting बचपन से ही कराची ग्रामर स्कूल में ही, and I was like a new G and not that cool and burger. तो मैंने दिया ऑडिशन. मैंने कहा नहीं मैं दूंगी. You know, I've been a big believer of the fact कि यार ट्राई जरूर करो, हो ना हो. Like I am big on that. I would go to every audition, हो ना हो ट्राई करना. मैंने कहा मैं दूंगी. I did my audition, नहीं हुआ कोई बात नहीं. At the same time उर्दू प्लेस के भी ऑडिशन हो रहे थे, and it's so funny हम ना like and I got selected and I got offered a role and everybody's like Urdu play? No way, Amtul, Urdu play losers करते हैं. Okay, and me being a new G who's trying to fit in, make friends, trying to be cool और ये सब कुछ, मैंने कहा okay shit नहीं मैं नहीं करूँगी. And to this day I regret it because as a kid, you know, I was more focused on like
fitting in,
making friends, being cool or whatever.
peer pressure में आके
exactly. तो सबने कहा नहीं, like उर्दू प्ले सिर्फ लूजर्स करते हैं या न्यूजीज करते हैं, and don't do that. So I was like, okay. तो मैंने फिर मुझे दोनों प्लेस में ना बैक स्टेज मुझे मिल गया, उर्दू प्ले में भी इंग्लिश प्ले में भी. मैंने कहा वो इतनी मुझे पैशन था ना थिएटर का कि मैंने कहा बैक स्टेज भी होगा मैं कर लूँगी. and that's what I did. मैंने बैक स्टेज किया दोनों के लिए. एंड लिटरली एक दफ़ा यही हुआ कि उर्दू प्ले में जब मैं बैक स्टेज कर रही थी कोई वन एक्टर डिडंट कम, सो आई वाज फिलिंग इन फॉर द रिहर्सल्स एंड दे वर लाइक dude you need to be part of this play and I was like Urdu play no I can't act in this, I can't act. तो मैंने नहीं किया. और इंग्लिश प्ले में ये हुआ, इंग्लिश उर्दू प्ले so stupid but yeah in the इंग्लिश वाला जो प्ले था उसमें फिर मुझे in my first year I was in backstage, second year A levels मुझे finally मौका मिला एक shadow बनने का.
अच्छा.
Okay, and it was a big achievement for me. I had to stand behind the screen because stage पे ना सिर्फ मेरे shadows cast होने थे. And I was like, yes, I will do it. Finally, my silhouette will be on stage. What if I'm not there? I'll be a silhouette. इतना मैं ये बताना चाह रही हूँ कि इतना मेरा passion था. And passion is important because that's what led me where I am today, right? Okay, let's get to Lums. Lums में गई, वहाँ पे भी ड्रामेटिक्स मैंने ज्वाइन किए. उर्दू प्लेस में मज़े से करती थी. वहाँ पे भी मुझे बहुत बड़ी फील हुई ये चीज़ कि इंग्लिश प्ले में सेलेक्ट होने के लिए you need to had a person, you need to had an accent, a persona, like very cool and bougie and like have an accent जो मेरे में नहीं था.
Cool होना था आपको एक certain level का.
और बहुत इंग्लिश का accent और मेरे पास नहीं था. Honestly, I never had an accent. I don't. It's fine. And I tried really hard, but नहीं मिला because they were like we need heavy English accents in the play.
Okay.
चलो okay fine whatever. I was really upset, but चलो कोई बात नहीं. And that was the annual play. Like when the whole Lums from first, second, third, fourth year everybody comes to watch that play. And I was like चलो कोई बात नहीं. तो मुझे जो अपॉर्चुनिटीज मिलती थी मैं वाले प्लेस कर लिया करती थी. उसमें भी फाइनली on like in my fourth year मेरा हाथ आया स्टेज पे because I had to wear, it was a murder mystery and I had to wear a leather black glove and my hand had to come on stage and switch off the lights. And I was so excited. I was like okay, I'm getting one step closer. पहले मेरा shadow था, अब मेरा हाथ आ रहा है, body parts आ रहे हैं हल्के हल्के. And I was like yeah, I'll do it. I'll be the best hand ever. Yeah, you know. और मैंने वो किया बड़े जद्दोजहद से और बड़े you know
passion
से किया. Yeah. And then but one great thing that happened in Lums was I got a lot of international exposure because Lums had this thing that we have to perform internationally, which was great. Like Dramaline made sure that every year we collaborate with different cultural organizations or universities to perform abroad. तो सेकेंड ईयर में आई गॉट टू ट्रैवल टू मलेशिया. वहाँ पे नॉटिंगम यूनिवर्सिटी में मैंने परफॉर्म किया. एंड देन द नेक्स्ट 2 years in my third and fourth year we went to Germany twice to perform at a university in Stuttgart, which is like a small town I think south of Frankfurt if I'm correct. वहाँ पे मैंने फिर इंग्लिश प्लेस की है फाइनली. तो क्योंकि तब वैसे वो भी कोई आई डोंट थिंक आई वाज द फर्स्ट चॉइस, बट इट वाज जस्ट दैट कि बहुत कम लोगों को परमिशन मिलती थी अब्रॉड ट्रैवल करने की, फंड्स के भी इशूज़ एंड एवरीथिंग. तो जो भी टीम बनती थी 15 लोग की टीम बनती थी, यू नो, उनमें से फिर ऑफ कोर्स एंड यू गोइंग इंटरनेशनल तो इंग्लिश प्ले ही करना है, तो ठीक है. तो वहाँ पे फिर मैंने फाइनली अगर द चांस अंग्रेजी में मैंने प्ले किया. फिर खैर बड़ी लंबी होगी मेरी कहानी ना जर्नी की, बट क्या करूँ, these things are important, right? Yeah, they're important, they have to be spoken about. खैर तो फिर ये लम्स की मेरी जर्नी थी. तो लम्स रियली फ्यूल्ड माई फायर फॉर ड्रामेटिक्स, टू बी ऑनेस्ट. और लम्स में रहते रहते हमने मैंने कमर्शियल प्लेस भी की. तो चलो स्कूल के थ्रू थे ना, मतलब लम्स के थ्रू थे. आई गॉट अ चांस टू परफॉर्म एट लाइक T2F एंड लाइक आर्ट्स काउंसिल, यू नो. सो थोड़ा सा कमर्शियली, थोड़ा सा ना आउट ऑफ योर कंफर्ट जोन, के सिर्फ स्टूडेंट्स और यूनिवर्सिटी के लोग नहीं आ रहे,
प्रोफेशनल थोड़ा सा होता जा रहा है,
थोड़ा सा. हाँ, कि लोग टिकट खरीद के
कमर्शियल एंड प्रोफेशनल साइड पर जा रहे हैं.
Exactly. So I'm sure a lot of you guys know Shehzad Ghyas. He was my senior in LUMS. So so I worked a lot with him. Actually, he has a big role to play
because
in theater.
he was been in stand up and theater.
Exactly. Yeah. So he was my senior. So he really guided me and everything. And we worked together on a lot of plays. And he had started this theater company called Cogito. तो उसमें हमने फिर बहुत perform किया, you know, commercially and everything. And then he started an improv troupe उसी वक्त. That was my first improv experience. And I was horrible, okay? And imagine someone who's so passionate about theater and is decently good at it. Like, I was a good actor. और जब मैंने improv comedy try की, oh my god, I was so bad, I was so awkward, so nervous, because ये भी चीज़ थी कि जो हमारा जो it was called room for improv, okay? उसमें सब लड़के थे, okay, and I was the only girl. लड़कियाँ, एक और लड़की थी, Maria, I remember, but she was like in and out. So most of the time it was just me and like 4 more guys, and I would get so awkward because sometimes they would crack like dirty jokes and naughty jokes. So तब मैं बहुत शरीफ थी. मुझे आधी चीज़ें समझ में ही नहीं आती थी.
That's cute.
Yeah, समझ नहीं आती थी, और आती भी थी तो इतनी शर्म इतनी आती थी, ये क्या बोल दिया, ये क्या हो रहा है. So I was really awkward, ठीक है, and I just couldn't come up with jokes because as an actor there's a big difference, right? Because as an actor you get a script, you get a character which is already written for you, and you have to just follow the script, right? And you have to develop a character.
Improv is something else.
Improv is completely different. मतलब आप एक एक word जो आपके मुंह से निकल रहा है ना, it's from your own head.
At that very time.
Yeah. So मुझे होता है कि मुझे लगता है कि मुझे लोग जज करेंगे, राइट, कि इसने ये लाइन इसने खुद सोच के बोली है. लाइक इट्स लाइक, यू नो, एज एन एक्टर यू कैन से कि यार स्क्रिप्ट में लिखा हुआ था, मैंने कर दिया.
वल्नरेबिलिटी है उसमें
ज्यादा है, बहुत ज्यादा. एग्जैक्टली, बिकॉज दे नो दिस इज नॉट रिटन, दिस इज Amtul's thought process. Yeah, this is her head, this is her brain. She thinks like this. Oh my god, she thinks this is funny, this is not funny. You know, तो आपके दिमाग में होता है कि लोग सोचेंगे इसको लग रहा है बड़ा फनी है ये, लेकिन ये तो नहीं है. तो मैं बहुत बुरी थी इम्प्रोव में. In the beginning, now I think I'm pretty decent. I'm good, I think, yeah. But yeah, so that was my improv and comedy का experience. और फिर बस lumps के बाद जब मैं graduate हुई तो फिर fast forward, I had a full-time job in a social NGO called Aman Foundation. अच्छा. तो जब मैं graduate हुई तो मैंने कहा यार, what do I want to do? You know, like I was very lost, to be honest. I did not do that well in university. Like बचपन में मैं बहुत बड़ी nerd होती थी. Like first आना क्लास में, O level में I got like 11 A's, which was record breaking for my school. And you know, A levels में थोड़ा सा मैं नीचे हो गया, और यूनिवर्सिटी में आके तो बिल्कुल ही ना, मतलब बैड सीन हो गया मेरा, ठीक है ना. मतलब आई ऑलमोस्ट गॉट किक्ड आउट ऑफ यूनिवर्सिटी, इतना बैड सीन हो गया था. हाँ, बड़ी लंबी कहानी है मेरी. ओह, बहुत लंबी कहानी है,
कोई बात नहीं.
तो लम्स में मैं क्या, हाँ, तो मैंने एंथ्रोसोशियो किया. दैट्स व्हाट आई हैव स्टडीड, एंथ्रोपोलॉजी एंड सोशियोलॉजी. सो आई वाज ओके, व्हाट डू आई वांट टू डू. सो आई वाज ठीक है, आई वांट टू बी इन द सोशल सेक्टर, आई वांट टू बी इन द सोशल डेवलपमेंट सेक्टर. एंड बट आई न्यू के I want to keep acting and performance as part of my life. I don't want to let it go on any circumstance. I just don't want to. तो मैंने कहा कि ठीक है, मैं ये फुल टाइम जॉब करूँगी, और साइड पे या जब भी कोई गिग्स आएंगे, कोई प्ले आया, कुछ भी आया, आई विल गो एन ऑडिशन. मुझे जो जो अपॉर्चुनिटीज मिलेंगी मैं करूँगी. तो फिर मैंने ये करना शुरू किया. आई हैड अ फुल टाइम जॉब फ्रॉम 2014 टिल 2017 के मिड तक. या सो 3.5 years आई डिड माई फुल टाइम जॉब. और साइड पे आई डिड प्लेज. आई डिड लाइक निदा भट्ट के साथ आई डिड ग्रीस द म्यूजिकल. आई डिड अनदर प्ले विद सरवत गिलानी. शी वॉज प्रोड्यूसिंग एंड डायरेक्टिंग इट विद SOP विच इज़ स्पेशल ओलंपिक्स पाकिस्तान. उन्होंने एक फंड रेजिंग के लिए प्ले किया था. इट वॉज अ प्रीटी बिग प्ले. वो किया. फिर फिल्म मेकर फ्रेंड ऑफ माइन हमजा बंगश, उसके साथ मैंने बर्फ पानी किया. शॉर्ट फिल्म भी की. सो I did theater.
full on acting.
हाँ, मैंने काफ़ी थिएटर से शुरू करके then I got into screen and films and everything, short films वगैरह वो मैं करती गई साइड पे. और फिर मैंने improv को फिर से अपने आप को चैलेंज किया because I knew I was weak at it and I wanted to take it as a challenge.
Okay.
तो मैंने कहा ठीक है, let's do it. तो फिर उस वक्त 2015 की बात है आई थिंक. एक improv troupe बन रहा था कराची में, The Platoon. And मैंने देखा कि अच्छा ठीक है, lot of my comedian friends were also joining and even like normal people who weren't comedians, they were joining it कि okay we'll get to learn something new. मैंने फिर से अपने आप को चांस दिया. I was okay, I need to perfect this skill. I know I suck at it, I need to be better. Platoon join किया. तब मैं थोड़ी सी बेहतर हुई improv comedy में. Even then I wasn't satisfied with myself. I was like यार ये मेरे बस की बात नहीं है. मैंने फिर छोड़ दिया. उसके बाद शहजाद ने एक ट्रूप join किया, I mean start किया. It was called The Barns. मैंने वो join किया. Even then I was struggling and I was like यार just मेरे में था कि यार मुझे बेहतर करना है. टेक इट एज अ चैलेंज. इट्स ओके, यू नॉट गुड एट इट बट यू लर्न. एंड देन आई जॉइन खवाटून्स फाइनली इन 2016. और तब जाके आई थिंक इन खवाटून्स आई फेल्ट एट होम in a very weird way. I don't know how. I think it was because we were all females. We were getting to do more characters, you know, like लड़के भी हम बन रहे हैं, लड़कियां भी हम बन रही हैं. Because to be honest, in comedy, I felt in improv comedy, I felt like the men got to take the more, funnier characters, more out there characters, more dominant characters, when girls were not getting to play that dynamic characters. But in Khawatoons, लड़कियां थी भाई, जो करना है, थरकी बनना है हम ही बन रहे हैं, बूजी बनना है हम ही बन रहे हैं, चीप बनना है, छिचोला बनना है हम ही बन रहे हैं, दूध वाला बनना है, मैकेनिक बनना है हम ही बन रहे हैं. So I really felt good finally in improv. I felt like okay, I'm getting somewhere, I'm improving, I'm enjoying. You know, I'm not feeling awkward or judged anymore. I'm feeling like I am talking about something that matters, because in Khawatoons we also make sure to talk about topics that we feel strongly about.
Right.
Especially
so with the purpose
issues.
you make
those. So I felt like I was being heard and I felt like I was improving, I was enjoying. So yeah, so that was my journey. Khawatoons किया. फिर उसके बाद so अच्छा stand-up एक अलग वो है, right? That's another form. वो उससे मुझे बड़ा डर लगता था. तो जब मैं खवाटून्स में मेरा अच्छा वो हो गया 2016 तक, ओके आई हैव अ गुड ग्रास्प ऑफ इट कि ठीक है मैं कर सकती हूँ. तो मैंने कहा ठीक है स्टैंड-अप करते हैं. स्टैंड-अप से अभी तक मेरी ना बहुत फटती है, ठीक है अभी तक. अभी भी आई थिंक मैंने लाइक पब्लिकली नहीं किया. सो आई एम मोर कंफर्टेबल विद डूइंग इट एट कॉर्पोरेट शोज, यू नो. अच्छा. जहाँ पे क्या होता है कि एक थीम होती है, एक सेट कॉन्सेप्ट होता है, उसके अराउंड आई राइट अ सेट. फॉर एग्जाम्पल लाइक आई यूज्ड टू रो, यू नो, रोइंग होती है ना. तो मैं रो करती थी. तो वहाँ पे उनका एक रोइंग का ग्रेजुएशन हो रहा था, लाइक आई थिंक 16 था आई थिंक. सो दे वर लाइक कम यू रोअर, सो एंड वी वांट टू स्टैंड अप कमेडियन, सो यू कैन मिक्स द बोथ बिकॉज यू आर स्टैंड अप कमेडियन नाउ एंड यू रोड बिफोर, तो यू कैन just do comedy while rowing. I was like, okay, so I was okay, great. मैंने वो किया. फिर उसके बाद मुझे बहुत सारे women, जो only women events होते थे, like women's day पे या women conferences, उसमें मुझे आने शुरू हो गए कि talk about like women issues in a comedic way, like do stand up comedy on women issues, whatever, इस तरह करके. तो वो मैंने करने शुरू की. तो I felt like I was more comfortable with doing stand-up at more enclosed and like corporate and private events than just public कि you can talk about anything and everything. वो मुझे डर लगता था कि यार. So अभी भी yeah, even till now stand up से मेरी अभी भी I'm still learning and growing and अभी तक मुझे डर लगता है. I'm still not very confident, but I keep pushing myself. जैसे 2 साल पहले I got an opportunity to travel to Dubai and do stand up. I was working with Saad Haroon and Ali Gul. Yeah, so we did improv and then all of us did stand up also. So I was like, yes, I'll do it. So I did stand up over there and so I'm getting there slowly. So that's that journey. कंटेंट की फिर जर्नी ऐसे हुई कि मतलब आई थिंक टिल 2017 तक आई वॉज डूइंग इम्प्रोव कॉमेडी, आई वॉज डूइंग एक्टिंग एंड आई हैड माई फुल टाइम जॉब. बट 2017 में आई वॉज लाइक ओके यार, मतलब I don't want to do a full-time job anymore.
Oh, okay.
You know?
You saw what you really wanted to do.
बचपन से ही, to be honest, like I always knew कि I want to do my own thing, but never knew what that meant or what my own thing will be. Like one day I'd be like, I want to open an NGO. One day I'd be like, okay, I want to open a school. I want to teach. I want to be a director. I want to be an actor. Like I don't know, but I knew कि I don't want to just work for someone all my life.
Okay.
And I remember when I was thinking about it, I was contemplating with the idea of quitting, when I was like, what will I do? क्या करूँगी मैं? So this is now finally the journey starts कि मैं यहाँ कैसे मैं content तक पहुँची. So and by the time I was dating Fahad, we started dating in 2016. So we would discuss about this and everything, and he was like, Amtul, quit. Like he was the one who really pushed me. Yeah. And he's like, I believe in you. You have enough contacts now. You've worked enough in acting and comedy and everything. And I think you're ready to quit. Like you should, and then you'll figure it out. And I was like, okay, will I don't know. चलो ठीक है, सोचते हैं. फिर क्या हुआ 2017 summer, that was our first trip together, Fahad और मेरी. उस वक्त it's really interesting because उस वक्त मुझे एक film offer मिली थी, like a feature film, and I was the lead.
अच्छा.
Yeah, and I was like, whoa. Like I auditioned and everything, 2-3 auditions हुए, they really liked me and everything. And I was like, okay. And then Fahad was basically moving back to Pakistan from America, and he was like, okay, I want to do this trip जहाँ पे जो है ना, when I leave America, it's my dream कि I do a cross country road trip, drive all the way from East Coast to West Coast, and we just camp along the way, go to national parks, and you want to join me? And I was like, yes,
why not?
Because I always had the travel kira. Actually, till then I was also traveling a lot on my own. Like I went to like Turkey on my own, I went to Bali on my own, Baku, Azerbaijan, I went on my own. I had done a lot of travels on my own. तो मैं थोड़ा सा ना उस वक्त मेरी actually Instagram पे थोड़ी सी मैंने travel blogging भी हल्की photo blogging शुरू करी. तब तो videos होती नहीं थी. तो like with just pictures and like long captions about my travels and experiences. And Fahad was in America. He was doing a sales job, so he was traveling a lot too. तो वो भी अपने ना adventures capture कर रहा था. So he's like, yeah, he was like, if you come, we can like vlog together, make a video together, and maybe it can become something. Who knows? Like like पतंगीर का उस वक्त कुछ था नहीं, लेकिन दिमाग में था कि अच्छा maybe we can create content together, maybe travel content together. So I was like, ठीक है, I'll come. मैंने लंबी चौड़ी अपनी लीव ली. तब तो मैंने क्विट नहीं किया था. I had collected enough leaves and everything कि मैंने एक 3 weeks की लीव मैंने पूरी ली. They were really nice. उन्हें दे भी दी. उन्होंने कहा हाँ, go. So I went, we did that trip, we filmed it, we came back, we released it. It did really well because I feel like तब तक there was no like travel couple as such who was like making content this way, like being carefree and doing all these like skydiving and driving across the country themselves.
Something very new for people to watch. कि camping
भी हो रही है, skydiving भी की हमने, we're trekking, we're hiking, like so much was happening and it was very new for people. So it did really well. And that's when we were like, okay, we can do something with this, we can make something from this. So पतंगीर का idea आना शुरू हुआ. And तब फिर मुझे हुआ कि यार ठीक है, I think I'm ready to quit. So I think it was like September 2017. I was like, okay, I'm quitting. I'm
doing this.
Yes. I was like, I'll figure out my way. और उस वक्त तक मुझे एक short film की offer हुई हुई थी. I was like, ठीक है, I'll do the short film. I had a couple of offers for teaching theatre, but they were like more like flexible, So I was like, ठीक है, I can keep acting and doing comedy, and I can teach theatre and give improv workshops and direct school plays. तो उसकी मुझे 2-3 offers मिली हुई थी, and there was a short film. I was like, ठीक है, I said yes to all of that. So I was like, I can work around my schedule, and we started working on Patangir. Surprisingly enough, like पतंगीर की वीडियोस पहले बननी शुरू हुई थी और अमतुल बवेजा की मैंने बाद में अपनी वीडियोस बनानी शुरू की थी, because तब तक I was still not very, I think, sure about my comedy content by then, because again, like improv में I was comfortable because it's coming up on the spot and everything, but even for videos you need to have a script, you need to write. तो वो मैं बहुत डरती थी कि यार मैं जज होंगी, what if I'm not funny enough, because improv में I'm like, in the moment आप funny हो जाते हो, ठीक है, like because I don't know, improv just came at a point जबकि it's so funny कि I struggle with improv so much, but by that time I felt कि improv is very natural, which is so funny because I struggled with it so much, but by that time I was so comfortable with it कि I was like, yeah, it's more natural to me. But
it's about exploring new territories ना. अब एकदम से content on comedy content on digital, it's another new territory. So obviously it takes some time before you get comfortable with that as well.
बिल्कुल. ये मैंने कहा यार scripts लिखना और पहले से comedy सोच के रखना, like मुझे ये था क्या, in the moment it's funny, people I feel like people are easier to make you laugh when they don't expect it, but when they expect it कि हाँ ये funny video होने वाली है, they're more like अब तो देखते कैसे हंसाती है,
मतलब
अच्छा funny video है, let's see, you know. Stand up में भी होता है, they're like okay, they've written the material from before, it's gotta be funny. But improv में क्या होता है, they're like हाँ यार अभी on the spot कर रहे हैं, so they're more like easier to judge. I think मुझे ये feel होता है. So yeah, so we started, Fahad and I started working on Patangir and everything. And then I think Feb 2018 was when we launched Patangir officially, like with the Facebook pages, Instagram pages and everything, with the name and everything.
YouTube.
Properly, हाँ, exactly. Officially उसको launch किया. And फिर जब पतंगीर की बननी शुरू हुई तो 2018 में ही उसके कुछ चंद महीने बाद then I was like, okay, I think I need to start making my comedy videos. और उसमें भी Fahad really encouraged me. And he's like, Amtul, you're funny, do it. तो मैं बहुत डाउट करती थी कि मैं funny नहीं हूँ.
And to be honest, Amtul, like आप स्टार्ट नहीं करोगे, आप ट्राई नहीं करोगे तो आपको नहीं पता चलेगा. And you can't be good at something from the start.
Yeah.
It has to be a journey. ना शुरू में it will be stupid and it will be bad. I know my first video was really bad. You know, like आप करते हो तो आप better होते हो ना. So if you were never going to start it, you were never going to become good at it.
I agree. And I remember my first online video was my Savage Popo.
By the way, that was so good. वो बहुत अच्छी वीडियो है हम तो, like for first time.
Exactly. Yeah, and it did really well and I was really shocked.
It was so good.
मैं बहुत because उससे पहले मैंने काफी sketches में काम किए थे, you know, a lot of like mansals and mango bars and all of that. तो मुझे थोड़ा सा idea मिल गया था. मैंने कहा ठीक है, before I make my own content, let me like collaborate with others. तो मैंने उनके साथ बहुत collaborate किया. तो मैंने learn किया कि ठीक है, like digital comedy कैसे होती है, because digital comedy is very different from live comedy, right? तो मैंने वो collaboration में मैंने बहुत, जब दूसरों की मैंने videos में act किया तो मैंने सीखा. And then and then I did my first, I think, digital video as a comedian was Savage Popo, and then I did really well कि मैंने उसको फिर वो मैंने सिर्फ Facebook पे लगाई थी तब. फिर मैंने उसको आई थिंक 2019 में उसको रीपोस्ट की थी इंस्टा पे. हाँ, मैंने बहुत पहले बनाई थी. अब तो पता नहीं फेसबुक से डिलीट भी हो गया. आई डोंट नो हाउ. थैंक गॉड आई हैड इट सेव्ड, बिकॉज एक दिन मैंने चेक किया, मैंने कहा ये कहाँ है फेसबुक पे. आई डोंट नो वेयर इट वेंट, एंड देन आई रीपोस्टेड इट ऑन इंस्टा. सो दैट वाजंट व्हेन आई मेड इट. इट वाज मेड वे बिफोर ऑन फेसबुक. या, सो दैट्स व्हाट माय जर्नी इज. वेरी लंबी जर्नी, बट या.
Okay, so can you tell me a little about your family background and the role maybe your family played through this, or their support or lack thereof? What was that like?
So, yeah, that's also a long story. A lot of people don't know, but I am a Delhi wala. Okay. And Delhi walas are known to be conservative, you know.
Nobody can ever think you come from a conservative background.
I know. I get that a lot.
I can never.
Yeah.
A lot of people be like, यार इसके भी बड़ा आसान है ये सब. हाँ.
I don't know why I don't talk about it more. I don't know. मतलब like on my platforms I've never spoken about it, like at interviews and with people in conversation whenever it's come up. I've never hidden it like that कि कोई मुझसे पूछे तो मैं छुपाऊँ. मैंने वो नहीं किया. But हाँ, like कभी मैंने out of the way खुद जाके इस बारे में बात नहीं की. But I think I should. But I don't know, कभी मतलब you know doesn't feel right.
जब natural होगा तो हो जाएगा.
वो fit in नहीं करता मेरे content में. मुझे कभी फील होता है doesn't fit in.
Force लग रहा है तो कोई जरूरत नहीं है.
हाँ, exactly. But I do want people to know, because I'm sure people, especially girls, will relate to it.
This is what this platform is for. So speak away.
Yeah. So Delhi wala, okay, and very conservative, especially my Nanyal. So my Nanyal, like my khalas, my cousins from my Nanyal side, they all do burqa, like literally pura proper niqab wala and everything. Like even some of them even wear like gloves. You know, like so. And my Dadial is also conservative, but not this much. Ji. So I think one of the biggest credits go to my dad, where I am today, because he was very open-minded, mashallah se. Like he loves arts himself. Like right now he's carving sculptures out of wood, which he just learnt in lockdown. You have no idea. I'll show it to you when we're done with this. He's carved this Buddha Baba out of a tree bark from the backyard of his own house, and he's gifted to me to keep in my office. So he's very
my
artsy
God.
like that, you
Acha.
know, like bachpan se he was into singing and musical instruments. Like I've grown up like listening to old songs with him, you know, Raj Kumar ke or Kishore Kumar and Raj Kapoor and all of that, you know. So like I've grown up him playing the harmonium or the piano and singing with us and us singing along. So it was very artsy household. Even my brothers were also into like arts, you know, a lot. Like my brother used to like play the guitar and sing a lot. Another one was into drawing and this and that. So I feel like like my dad is the main and he loves reading, so he's very well read, and he would help me with my school projects and artwork. So, you know, and he always encouraged me to firstly be who I am, you know, and secondly to do whatever I wanted to do. Like बचपन में जब भी मैं अपने एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर्स करती थी, आई वांट टू डू एवरीथिंग. मैंने कहा मैंने बास्केटबॉल भी खेलना है और मैंने आर्ट्स भी करना है और मैंने पोइट्री भी करनी है और मैंने डिबेटिंग भी करनी है. एंड माय डैड वाज लाइक, या डू एवरीथिंग. एंड ही वुड हेल्प मी आल्सो. ही वुड लाइक रातों तक जाके ही वुड help me write debates and my speeches and, you know, making my projects and everything. Cute. You know, and even with travel, he was the one who pushed me to travel, especially on my own. He's like, yeah, travel alone, it's okay. You want to do a summer semester abroad, do it. Summer school abroad, go. Travel with friends, solo, with school, university, whatever, you know, because he also traveled a lot in his life. So वो मुझे कहते हैं कि you learn a lot from travel. So I think dad was always a big support. Mom also, but since mom comes from a more like conservative background from Nanyal side, so my mom was always not very open. But she's been understanding, you know, like I cannot hold that against her because theek hai, she came from that background, but she never became an obstacle in my way. Like, you know, so you can say like my dad was encouraging and pushing. So if my mom wasn't doing that, at least she wasn't holding me back.
Okay.
So I think I was lucky enough to have parents like that.
Support you.
Yeah, but if I talk about my extended family, like yeah, not very conservative. Like अब मेरा बचपन बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग था, मतलब बहुत weird भी था. मतलब I couldn't wear jeans and shirt.
Okay.
Like being a kid even. Like I think after I was maybe like 8-9 years old, उसके बाद एक होता था कि okay, now you're grown girl and shalwar kameez and dupatta. And you know, like I felt like I was living a double life. हमना it was so weird कि अगर मेरी जैसे किसी फ्रेंड की बर्थडे पार्टी होती थी ना, उसमें मैं पैंट शर्ट पहन के जा रही हूँ और उसके बाद अगर दादी के जाना है, it would be a big issue कि shit, मैं दादी के कैसे जाऊंगी? मैं तो पैंट शर्ट पहनी हुई हूँ,
कपड़े चेंज करने पड़ेंगे.
सोचो इतना like इतनी सी बात है लेकिन इतना बड़ा. And my poor mom would come with a bag of clothes. She would pick me from my friend's house. She would make me change over there in a shalwar kameez and a dupatta so I could go to my dadi's house. And if I could not change, if there was no way for me to change, I would not go to my dadi's house because there was no way I could step in that house in a pant and a shirt. No way. और एक दफ़ा तो ये हुआ था कि अल्लाह मियाँ, I hope she gets Jannat and everything. She just passed away recently. I was like 12 or 13 and and my parents were going for Hajj. So I was living with my chacha and we went to visit our dadi. मैं शलवार कमीज पहनी हुई थी but I had like dupatta only on one side. जैसे नहीं यहाँ पे आप रख लेते. And my dadi lost it. She was like, दुपट्टा सही से पहनो, ये क्या तरीका है, you know. And imagine like, of course, I can't blame her. That's her conditioning. That's her own socializing and everything, you know. So you can't even hold that against them. But that's the way our society is. And I was like 12 or 13 and I was so embarrassed. Like I was a little girl and I was like, shit, मैंने क्या किया है? मैंने क्या कर दिया? Like, and my chachu like had an argument with her, you know, she's a little kid and everything, and why are you being so like mad at her? Like she's just a kid. And I remember we didn't even sit and we left. And I felt so bad. And I was like, oh my God, I caused my dadi and my chachu to fight because of me. You know, and as a kid, I was just like shaking and trembling in the car ride home. I'm crying. And I remember they gave me like a lollipop and I'm lollipop and aansu bhi nikal rahe, lollipop bhi kha rahi hu. It was just really weird. So this is just to set the tone ke what kind of a family, like extended family I come from. So, and my dad has like 12 siblings, including my dad, 12.
Oh,
so imagine a dozen mindsets, a dozen families. And the interesting part is like every brother or sister, like my dad's siblings, they're all very different from each other.
Okay.
So every household in my extended family is very different. You know, because everybody's brought up their kids in the best manner that they thought was, right? So koi conservative hai, koi open-minded hai, koi nahi, and everything. So I struggle a lot to fit in with my cousins also, like a lot of times, because I had like guy friends and they would come over to my house because my dad was like, yeah, call them. It's okay. You're under my roof at my own home.
If
that's
I'm okay with it, though.
Yeah, and they're like, that's the safest way for you to meet your friends. Like, you know, बिल्कुल उल्टा होता है. And like, it's so surprising.
छुप के करने के से बेहतर है कि आप अपने घर की safe
like,
space
as a parent,
में
I understand
with more control.
बिल्कुल. He's like, rather than you going off, पता नहीं कहाँ तुम.
और झूठ बोल के.
हाँ. So he encouraged me. I remember 7th grade was probably the first time I was allowed to like call guy friends over, and I was so excited. I was like, oh yeah, I can finally call my guy friends over, and they were like, yeah, you can chill here and like, you know, hang out. ये वो जो भी friends हैं. So, and even while growing up, when I came into university years, my parents knew about my relationships. Whenever I had boyfriends, whenever I was dating, they knew that. I made sure to tell them that they should know, you know. So they had that trust with me. They had an open-mindedness, but not in the extended family. Like I remember when I was growing up as cousins, I used to hear a lot of random rumors about me. You know, like एक rumor था बड़ा funny था. Like some of my cousins were talking about me कि इसके तो 10 boyfriend है. मैंने कहा वाह, एक टाइम पे मेरे 10 boyfriend है, ये कैसे हो सकता है? एक इतनी मुश्किल से बना है, ये 10 कैसे? कि अमतुल के तो एक टाइम पे 10 boyfriends होते हैं. And then another rumor that she wears mini skirt in Karachi. मैंने कहा यार काश कराची ऐसा होता. मुझे बताओ ये कौन सा कराची है कि जहाँ में मैंने कहा प्लीज मुझे ऐसे कराची में मुझे घर दिला दो कि मैं मिनी स्कर्ट पहन के, because they probably saw me wearing jeans and a top. तो वो ओके बन गया कि अमतुल मिनी स्कर्ट में घूम रही है. And then the funniest thing happened कि I went for a summer semester to Stanford when I was in Lumps. मैंने एक semester Stanford में किया था. तो वहाँ पे of course I was in America. I wanted to wear cute clothes. I wanted to wear skirts and dresses and shorts, and my parents knew that. And मैंने अपनी ना DP अपनी change की. मैं cute सा ना red color का mini dress पहनी हूँ. And oh my god, it was like हमारे यहाँ मतलब हाँ मैं अमेरिका में थी तो वहाँ पे लेट नाइट हो रही थी, 2 बज रहे थे. वहाँ पे मुझे एकदम से my mom calls me and she's like, तुमने कोई पिक्चर लगाई है? And I was like, yeah. No. And my parents weren't on Facebook. I was like, how does she know? Because my parents were not on Facebook at that time. And I was like, oh yeah, how do you know? She's like, कोई रेड कलर का कोई तुमने ड्रेस पहना है? And I was like, हाँ. She's like, अभी चेंज करो. And I was like, क्यों? She's like, because your cousin saw it. He took a screenshot. He showed it to his mom. Mom and to Dadi. Dadi has called me. Okay, what is Amtul doing in America? What is this? You know? ऐसे करके होता था. And she's like, or just block all your family, to be honest. And that's what I did. I think अभी तक भी शायद काफ़ी शायद लोग मेरे family members शायद blocked him. But growing up, like in my late teens and stuff, I was like, okay, I'll block them. My mom was like, yeah, we're okay with it. Okay. And we trust you. But if people are going to talk, then I guess you can either not put up these pictures, but if you really want to and it feels like, you know, it's stopping you in any way or something like that, so please just block them. So it doesn't give them a reason to talk. So, you know, so I really do appreciate my parents because they had to hear a lot of shit.
Yeah, and they didn't stop you. They could have been like, listen, no. Because of the family, they could have been like, no.
Exactly. Yeah. It's so easy for parents to be like, you know what?
And parents do that. A lot of the parents, इस तरह भी होता है ना कि even if they are okay personally with all of these things, they will be like कि नहीं क्योंकि लोग बातें करेंगे तो हम जो हैं नहीं. So they'll stop their kids.
Exactly.
They get under that pressure. So for parents also to stand up to society and to their own families, it's not very easy.
It's not, yeah. And that's why I really appreciate my parents for that. और एक दफ़ा तो इतना बैड सीन हुआ था कि I think 2014 था. I just graduated and I came back to Karachi and I was going to Kenya for this theatre workshop. So I was performing and I was also training वहाँ के university students को theatre में and giving workshops and everything, and I was gonna go. उस वक्त मेरे अब्बू जो थे वो अमेरिका में थे. And I was home with my mom and I think Dadi came to stay for a while or something. And my Dadi was like, where are you going? And I was like, I am going to Kenya to, you know, teach kids and everything. And she's like, किसके साथ जा रही हो? And the funny thing was, it was a guy colleague, it was a male colleague, and I had to tell her. She's like, क्या तुम लड़के के साथ घूमती हो? मैंने कहा वो colleague है, like मैं क्या मतलब what can I do? You know, and उस वक्त I was also doing I had gotten my full-time job at Aman Foundation, तो मैं leave लेके जा रही थी. तो even at my, of course, at work, I had male colleagues, and we used to give workshops at Aman Foundation too. So we used to travel a lot, you know. तो गाड़ी मेल कॉलीग चला रहा है तो मैं सामने बैठी हूँ. My दादी was like, अच्छा तो यहाँ पे भी तुम्हारी ये जॉब है, तुम कौन लेता है, कहाँ जाती हो? And I was like, my male colleague sometimes drops me or picks me, or we go to different schools and outreach centers and community centers to give our workshops. And she's like, क्या और ये और वो. And और फिर क्या हुआ, अच्छा हाँ उस वक्त क्या हुआ था कि my dad had a heart attack in America. तो हम यहाँ थे, dad वहाँ थे, तो वैसे ही वो इतनी अजीब situation and then what happened, and then I don't know what happened, and then she was like, I think मेरी अम्मी को वो डांट रही थी कि तुम किस तरह अमतुल को ये वो जाने दे सकती हो और blah blah blah, because and I got so mad. And I remember I had an argument with my dadi, and I was like, Dadi, my dad just had a heart attack, like he's in the hospital and he's not close to us, he's not here, my mom is here, and I have to travel, I have to leave my mom alone because I have to go for this workshop in Kenya, and this is
what you're doing to her.
And your concern is like me traveling with male colleagues and not wearing a dupatta, not wearing a shalwar kameez. That's not fair. My mom was like,
when you're not doing anything wrong.
Yeah. My mom was like, क्या कर रही हो? मैंने कहा, it has to be said. Like, I know I love her, I respect her, but they need to know that there's nothing wrong in this. And then I tried to explain my dadi कि दादी मैं कुछ गलत नहीं कर रही. I explained her my job, what I do. Because at that time I was at Aman Foundation. I was like, listen, this is what I do. I give financial literacy workshops to like women and kids so they can be independent. I give entrepreneurship workshops so people can earn a livelihood. And I love theatre because that's a way to express yourself. I'm going to teach kids theatre, and just because I have a male colleague doesn't mean that what I'm doing is wrong. You know, that one thing doesn't make all of that wrong, right? So these were the battles I had to fight, you know. Time and again, like extended family would talk about me. And then when I started doing like acting, like theatre and short films and everything, तो social media पे अगर promotions चल रही हैं या आपके posters लगे हुए हैं तो उस पे बातें होनी कि अच्छा अब अमतुल TV पे आ रही है, अमतुल shows कर रही है, अमतुल के billboards लगे हुए हैं, तस्वीरें आ रही हैं या वहाँ, because my family has no background of acting, media, theatre, creativity.
तो बिल्कुल ही new उनके लिए.
Nothing. I come from a business family, so even my dad had a business, like he's artsy but as a hobby, but not as a career or profession. हाँ, and even all my uncles and everyone. So I come from a very like business-minded family. So creativity in arts and media is totally like, you know, and especially
new to them.
Bilkul, and especially if your face of a girl is being out there, like on pamphlets and posters and billboards and TV and screens and phone screens.
That's too much for them.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, what is Amtul doing? Like my parents would get questioned all the time, okay, what is she even doing? And then especially when I started Patangir and I would be traveling and creating content, they're like, Amtul तो बस घूमती रहती है. मेरे तो मुंह पे बोला है. Some of my aunts are like, तुम तो हर वक्त तुम करती क्या हो? तुम तो घूमती रहती हो. जब देखो घूमती रहती हो. And I'm like, I'm done explaining myself कि what my job requires me to do.
You do, you know? What you want to do for yourself.
और अभी recently भी यही हुआ था, like my dad is so cute. He was like, Amtul, give me your Instagram link and your YouTube link and Facebook link of your pages. I want to share in the family group. Oops. And I was like,
are you sure you want to do
I was like, are you sure? Because you know the way I dress, the way I talk, the way I, like, you know, like when we go to my family, I'm not like this. I'm not like all hyper the way I am. I'm very like quiet, tamizdar, because that's what the girls in my family are expected to do. I go in a shalwar kameez dupatta. I'm normal. They haven't seen me this way. They don't even know who Amtul is, which is so weird. Like it's my family, it's my extended family, and they don't know who Amtul is, to be honest. Like they don't, because as a kid I was never allowed to express myself that way. So I always hid that part of me from them. And I was like, Baba, are you sure that they would appreciate this? He's like, yeah, I'm proud of it. He's so cute. He was like, I'm proud of it. You shouldn't be ashamed of it. I'm like, no, I'm not ashamed. That's one thing my dad taught me. He's like, if you're ashamed of something, you better not to do it. And I was like, no, Baba, I am not. He's like, yeah, good. Because I am proud of what you are doing. And I'm proud of it and I'm going to share it. And I was like, yeah, sure. But be ready. People might talk, which I know they will. कि क्या कपड़े पहनी हुई है और ये क्या शक्लें बना रही है. Because I know I'm very animated. And that's the way I talk. I can't help it. You know, loud है, annoying है, animated है. कैसे बात कर रही है, ऐसे आवाज ऐसी loud.
That's quite an outlier personality for a family like that.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. So I was like, I don't know if they're ready to see me this way. I don't even know kitne log from my family follow me, because Patangir is an open platform. I haven't blocked anyone from there, any of my family. I'm like, okay, it's fine. They want to see me. They want to watch my content, sure. But I don't know what they think of it. I don't know. Yeah. Some of them appreciate me. Like, yeah, some like there's one really lovely puppo of mine who always watches every video of mine and appreciates it. Some of my cousins appreciate me and everything. Some of my chachus also. But it's such a big family, right? Like everybody can't think the same way.
Yeah,
and I'm okay with that.
अपना वो है.
हाँ, मैंने कहा ठीक है, इतनी बड़ी फैमिली, माशाल्लाह से 12 सिबलिंग्स हैं मेरे अब्बू के, उन सब की बच्चे, उनके बच्चे, my cousins have kids,
सबका exposure अलग, education
so I'm like,
अलग,
I'm okay with it.
अलग.
As long as my parents gave me the freedom to be who I am, you know, to do what I want to do, and they supported it, they're proud of it, nothing else matters.
Yeah, and also like एक तो होता है ना कि so there's also even online digital content की हम बात करें या हम acting या theatre की बात करें, तो there lots of उसके अंदर भी बहुत conventional roles आते हैं, ठीक है, but you're not even playing those.
Yeah.
So you are doing comedy, which is one more step
Beyond that.
Beyond how people like to see women.
बिल्कुल.
You know,
Yeah.
वो एक ऐसी चीज़ है जो कि लड़कियों के लिए एक और भी out there है.
बिल्कुल.
It's more than
Just looking pretty or fashion and beauty, जो women centric सोचे जाते हैं.
Yeah, so basically it's more than just being a public face.
Yeah.
It requires that animated personality. It requires that, you know, how
playing
you're
characters, different,
being a little quirky and all of that.
Changing your voices, your styles of talking, different characters.
So it's very interesting to see that with all that noise and with all that background,
Yeah.
you are doing all this.
Yeah.
कि कोई सोच भी नहीं सकता कि उस बैकग्राउंड के साथ, उस नॉइज के साथ, you're still able to do that. And उसमें फिर वही यही है ना कि your father plays that role where he's standing so rock solid behind you,
Very.
which is why you are able to do all of this.
Yeah.
I think that's amazing. I've noticed this so much here in my podcast and spoken to so many women here. If a father supports his daughter or his wife,
Nothing like it.
yeah, those women go to places. And कुछ थोड़ी बहुत हमारी लड़कों की भी ऑडियंस है. So I would like to tell them how important their role is.
Yeah.
They will change the lives of their wives and their daughters.
Yeah.
उनका सपोर्ट हो तो आपको कुछ और नहीं चाहिए, कुछ भी नहीं चाहिए.
I totally agree because literally मुझे किसी चीज का डर ही नहीं है.
डर नहीं है ना.
हाँ, like of course अल्लाह मियाँ का और ये सब कुछ putting that aside, like being from who I am.
Yes.
Like literally I don't care. Yeah, कभी I'm like I don't care. मतलब मैं यही हूँ यार, मैं loud हूँ, मैं ऐसे बात करती हूँ, मेरी शक्ल ऐसी है, I have a slight lisp, whatever. Like people have made fun of every small thing they can find, and I'm like I don't care. And I think like that really comes from my dad because he never tried to change who I was. You know, never said कि ऐसे
encourage
नहीं
you to
बैठो.
be yourself.
हाँ, ये क्या है, ऐसे ये कपड़े, ऐसे नहीं बैठो, ऐसे नहीं बात करो. कभी मुझे नहीं बोला गया घर पे. My mom would sometimes be like, आहिस्ता हंसो, इतनी जोर से हंसती हो तुम, you know, कि थोड़े घर के काम सीख लो, तुम्हें कुछ नहीं आता, शादी के बाद खाना क्या, like, you know, my mom would say those things sometimes, but thank God they weren't like imposed on me this much that they would change who I was, you know, or broke me, you know. So yeah, like I do give a lot of credit to my dad to like for whoever I am, whatever I am today.
And things you've been able to achieve. So okay, so that was your family and that support system and family में लोग की जो बातें हैं and stuff like that. But online भी, how have people reacted to women in comedy?
Yeah. Oh my God. It's very interesting. Like
Muslim women.
हाँ, जैसे अभी मैं बता रही थी कि like एक तो woman in comedy, then a Muslim woman in comedy, and then a Muslim woman from Pakistan in comedy.
I think Muslim शायद इतना बड़ा problem नहीं है जितना पाकिस्तानी woman in comedy है, because culture हमारा.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Muslim भी है because clothing पे बहुत आते हैं. Are you Muslim? Are you Muslim? Are you Muslim? Are you Muslim? You know.
लेकिन all over the world, Amtul, like there are lots of Muslim women in comedy, but culture पे depend करता है ना. पाकिस्तान के culture में
Pakistani Muslims basically. It's another race altogether. I think another breed is Pakistani Muslims, because I feel like कि पाकिस्तानियों को लगता है कि पूरे इस्लाम का ठेका जो है ना उन्होंने ही लिया हुआ है सिर्फ. You know, yes, it's very interesting. मतलब what I have observed is कि audience is they're very willing to laugh at a man's joke, but not as willing to laugh at a woman's joke.
I think women जब jokes मार रही होती हैं तो it somehow makes people uncomfortable.
Or like I feel like उनको लगता है oh she's trying so hard, like you're trying to be someone who you're not, why are you trying so hard, why are you trying to be this way, cringy. Like I have really observed, like मैं इतनी ही ख्वार हूँ कि मैं लोगों के comment section में जाके पढ़ती हूँ ना दूसरे comedians के, male comedians के, and even from outside Pakistan to see how people are reacting. And I've seen that कि like of course, and not to take away from them and not to say कि it's all easy for them also. Of course, everybody has their own battles. Comedy itself is such a tough field to be in for males or females. And I know even female comedians in India, for example, they also face a lot of scrutiny and everything. But from what I've observed, because I see कि अच्छा एक followers overlap भी होते हैं ना. So I see कि जो followers मुझे कर रहे हैं वो जो हैं for example Indian content creators को भी follow कर रहे हैं, कुशा को भी कर रहे हैं, डॉली को भी कर रहे हैं, everything. And I feel like they're more willing and open to laugh at their jokes and support them than us. And their own, I don't know कि मुझे personally feel होता है ये है या but मैंने ये बहुत feel किया है.
ये बिल्कुल है, ये बिल्कुल वही वाली बात है कि जब पाकिस्तान में व्लॉगिंग करनी शुरू की और वो अभी भी तो लोग आपको बहुत जज करते हैं बाहर पब्लिक में कि आप क्या कर रहे हो, लेकिन अगर एक गोरा खड़े होकर व्लॉगिंग कर रहा है सो कूल
बिकॉज ये एक परसेप्शन है कि हम उनको कॉपी कर रहे हैं. एंड मैंने इतनी डिबेट्स की लोगों से, मुझे कहते हैं यू आर कॉपिंग इंडियंस, you're copying Indians. मैंने कहा Indians did not invent comedy. Like okay, my style might match because firstly we come from similar cultural backgrounds, right? जैसे मैं अगर cultural issues की बात करती हूँ या मैं society जैसे आंटी culture है और gossip culture है ये वो या तो वहाँ पे भी है ना. अब क्या कर सकते हैं जो of course our problems are so intertwined, so like overlapping and similar, तो of course content will be similar. Like एक दफ़ा तो ये हुआ था कि Dolly such a famous big comedian, she made a video which was exactly like mine. And I made it before her. I didn't even know. Like,
but people automatically assumed that
I copied her. I was so mad. I was like, I know I'm a tiny content creator compared to her. But and then she reached out to me and we spoke. She's like, yeah, like because मैंने literally एक हफ्ते पहले मैंने कराची और लाहौर का एक वो बनाई थी, like when they were talking as sisters. And उसकी एक हफ्ते बाद आई थी Delhi and Mumbai. Now. See, not saying that she copied me, but this is an example of how similar our cultures are.
Yes, and how the overlap will come very easily. Yeah.
So thankfully, there were a lot of people who actually told me, they were like, oh my God, Amtul, Dolly copied you. But there was another stream of people who also like, oh my God, you copied Dolly. And I was like, please look at the date these videos were published. You know, and then eventually I got to speak to Dolly as well. And then she also reshared my video and, you know, and then she said, oh my God, it's so similar, you know. So yeah, so the point was that I've observed a lot of things. एक तो ये कि people are more willing and open to laugh at a man's joke compared to women's jokes when women do comedy. And secondly, like they support and laugh more openly at like international, especially Indian creators than us. Like मैंने ये बहुत note किया है. मतलब,
that is true.
You know. Like for example, if an Indian creator will wear like a crop top and looking hot, they'll be like, yes, queen, hot. यहाँ पे अगर तुम और मैं पहन लेना हम ना, I can guarantee same people will be like, हाय अल्लाह नंगी हो गई. You know, screen के लिए, TV के लिए, fame के लिए, likes के लिए नंगी हो गई. Literally ये होगा. And I've seen that.
It's the hypocrisy of our society.
Yeah, and then उनकी argument क्या होती है? वो तो Indian है ना, वो तो कर सकते हैं. They can wear crop tops and sleeveless and blouses and everything. But you're Pakistani, you're a Muslim girl. How dare you dress like that? Yeah, we will support them because they can do it. That's not their culture. That's not their religion. You know. But you, since you're from Pakistan, sorry, we have to judge you. And you know. तो ये उसके अलावा हाँ मतलब. And then yeah, of course, like comedy requires you to make faces, be animated, express yourself. उस पे मुझे बहुत सुनने को मिलता है. कैसी शक्लें बना रही हैं, शक्ल टेढ़ी हो जाएगी,
ओवर हो रही है,
ऐसे क्यों?
अच्छा, वो तो एक बहुत हमारा जो बेसिक, बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग यू सेड दिस, क्योंकि हमारा एक बेसिक प्रॉब्लम आ जाता है यहाँ पे, जो कि है कि एक औरत या एक लड़की, she has to fit in a certain look, which is the words I will use are decent, धीमा, you know, एक certain,
and even body wise, there's a
like they will appreciate sweetness, politeness, the use of we please, thank you, sorry wale words, a certain style. You know how women are supposed to be like that. Women are supposed to be sweet. And obviously when you are
soft spoken and
so when you're being so animated, it doesn't sit well with people. So they will again, it will make them uncomfortable, and it will lead to these comments and these statements, and they don't realize that this is basic conditioning where they're just not used to seeing women in these roles. But there's nothing wrong with it. It's just that you are not used to seeing women like this. Because for you, a decent woman speaks a certain way, acts a certain way, walks a certain way, talks a certain way,
a certain way.
So वो वाली चीज है.
हाँ, and like इतनी दफा फिर लोग कॉमेंट करते cringe. मैंने कहा यार यही चीज अगर एक मर्द कर रहा होता ना,
बिल्कुल
कोई नहीं लिखता cringe. मैंने बहुत अपने मेल कॉमेडियंस को स्टॉक किया है जाके, वहाँ पे उनको कभी नहीं आता कि cringe हो रहा है, you know, but हम उनको cringe लग रहे होते हैं.
यार a simple thing where a girl will stick her tongue out is weird for people.
हाँ, मेरा तो ये भी प्रॉब्लम है, मैं बहुत जबान निकाल, I don't know why, it's just me. उस पे आपकी जबान तो बाहर ही रहती है, क्यों रहती है?
You know, but
आपकी दांत ही बाहर निकले रहते हैं आप. I'm like यार बस है ऐसे ही है, क्या करूँ मैं? But yeah, you're right, like they're just not used to seeing us like that. They're not used to seeing us loud talking carefree. मतलब हाँ, मेरा कोई, I know I'm not like very like soft spoken and well spoken and you know proper. I'm like you know, yeah, and you're right, they're just not used to it. They're like इसको क्या हो गया, ये पागल हो गई है, what's wrong with her? Like
women are not supposed to be wild ना. Yeah, so or carefree even. तो वो so you know, तो वही है, that's where it basically comes from, where they
it just annoys me so much.
No, but you know it's okay. You know why? Because you are doing what you do, and that's how slowly you're going to normalize this. Okay, women can be like this too. It's fine.
You're right. Yeah, that is.
But I'm going to speak on both spectrums. कि यहाँ पे आपने ये जो वाइल्ड चाइल्ड और एनिमेशन और कॉमेडी को जहाँ आपने मर्दों के साथ ज़्यादा कंफर्टेबल किया हुआ है, वहाँ पे आई वुड से कि ये दोनों एंड्स पे होता है, वेयर मेन आर नॉट अलाउड क्या, बट मेन हु मे बी स्लाइटली politer, soft-spoken,
or you taking care of themselves, grooming them too much. Or you can call them on
the feminine side. वहाँ पे भी लोगों को issue होते हैं.
You're right.
That makes people uncomfortable as well.
Yeah.
You know, they will use horrifying words for boys and men like that. So this is across the board, where they expect men to be a certain way and women to be a certain way, और जो भी उसके अंदर से थोड़ा सा बाहर निकल रहा है, वो लोगों को uncomfortable कर देता है.
Yeah, I totally agree. Even with when Fahad was growing his hair and like
he has like really long hair.
हाँ, तो उसपे भी इतने लोग, हाँ भाई जनाना आ गई दाढ़ी के साथ, ओ भाई, and a lot of other random, you know, के मतलब कि क्या हुआ, लड़की बन गए, ये हो गया. तो I totally get it. Like ये होता है, you know, like they have to suffer equally because of the certain standards and norms that we have for gender roles.
You just brought Fahad up के उसके साथ ये सारा होता है. So speaking of Fahad, you guys are you have Patangir also, ठीक है, which is your other platform where you guys create content. And as a couple, वहाँ पे you create content. Fahad doesn't have his own thing.
He's like, I hate social media. Ironically enough, like, I can't handle Instagram. मुझसे नहीं बनती stories. So he doesn't have. इतना मैंने उसको बोला है कि यार बना लो. But he's like, I can't manage it.
Chalo, it's fine. Patangir, you guys are doing together.
Yeah.
So, how is Patangir going? What is that about? And how? Because see, one more thing. So even as a couple, you're a very unconventional couple on Instagram, on online or whatever. I can relate to that as well. हम भी बहुत लोगों के लिए बहुत unconventional हैं, the things that we do. So just reminded me of something really funny. अभी recently हुआ ये कि somebody came, and so my husband does a podcast as well, and I do this podcast. So जाहिर है हमने मिलके setup किया है, उनका भी podcast, मेरा भी podcast, and दोनों का different purpose है, दोनों का different मतलब they're very purpose driven podcasts, so
I
दोनों
know.
की
I've
बिल्कुल
seen
different
it.
है.
I know, yeah.
ठीक है, the things he talks about, the things I talk
I know.
about, दोनों का अपना अपना goal है with them.
Exactly.
Somebody came and commented on my podcast, one of my podcasts, कि oh, look at her, she's trying to copy her husband, but yeah. She's trying to copy her
Yes, I
husband.
am. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
मैंने मुज़म्मिल को देखा podcast करते, मैंने कहा cheating कर
यार चलो मैं भी बनाती हूँ.
ठीक है. एंड ये पहले ये स्टेटमेंट थी, इट वाज फॉलोड बाय के you know she can never do it like him the way that he does it, ये वो फलान, just comparing me to my husband, you know.
Pointless. It's pointless.
It's a completely
why,
different thing.
Why are you even doing that?
Yeah.
It's so pointless to compare. Like, yeah, I think it's because some of them don't understand what partnership means truly.
Yeah,
to be honest, I
yeah.
think I kind of feel bad for those kind of people, because then they honestly don't know the true meaning of companionship or partnership.
Yeah. It's a partnership.
Yeah.
The word in itself contains everything.
Exactly, because whatever he's doing is not completely isolated from what you're doing,
Yeah,
and what
it's
you're doing is
not.
not completely isolated from what he's doing.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just comes down to the fact that I think they just don't understand.
And then creating that comparison in how I do my podcast and how he does his podcast and how I'm nowhere near, don't even come close to him. Yes, I admit he does an amazing job with it.
Yeah.
But ये comparison नहीं बनता है यहाँ पे.
Copying her husband, and she can never be as good as him.
Yeah. So how have people perceived you guys as a couple on screen, and some of the things that people think and say about that?
Yeah, like it's been very interesting, to be honest, because so Patangir जब हमने बनाया था, उसका one of the driving motivations यही थी कि यार couples को एक certain तरीके से perceive किया जाता है पाकिस्तान में, right? कि like the typical scenario is this, कि यार the guy works, the woman is a homemaker, and the guy is the breadwinner, the decision maker, and that's it. And then you have kids, and then the woman mainly takes care of the kids, and that's it. We wanted to change that firstly, and I know like तो बहुत change हो रहा है, like I'm not saying कि हम बड़े कोई नए नए लाए थे, but that was one of our driving forces. And secondly ये था कि भाई शादी के बाद पहले आपकी जिंदगी खत्म नहीं हो जाती, ठीक है ना. ये
बहुत बड़ी,
है ना, ये इतना होता है भाई शादी हो गई यार, अब कहाँ ट्रैवल करेंगे, अब कहाँ कुछ हम मजे कर सकते हैं, अब तो शादी हो गई. ये बहुत थिंकिंग है लोगों की, भाई शादी के बाद जिंदगी खत्म, बस रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज एंड ड्यूटीज एंड मेकिंग मनी एंड
नॉट डिनाइंग कि वो चीजें नहीं होती, बट दैट डजंट मीन इट सक्स द फन आउट ऑफ योर लाइफ.
Exactly.
Any married couple has responsibilities.
Exactly. And not that you can't work together to make something amazing. That you can't support each other.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what we wanted to show, that a couple can work together, they can support each other, they can make something creative, beautiful, amazing out of it, and also have fun at the same time, be outgoing, be adventurous, travel, make content, you know. And यही कि like शादी के बाद जिंदगी नहीं ख़त्म हो जाती, you know. So that was one of the things we wanted to talk about, क्योंकि उस वक्त तक there was no such couple really going out there, and we tried to like really like do like different kinds of travel, you know, not just like the typical luxury travel. हम लोग budget traveling भी की है, हमने backpacking की भी है, हमने couch surfing भी की है, इसके बाद locals, you know, like लोगों ने हमें host किया है किसी country के, हम उनके घर में रहे हैं, and you know like hardcore like trekking and adventures and hiking, like, and as a couple, because क्या होता है कि you usually see कि अच्छा एक guys group जा रहा है और वो कर रहा है अकेले, you know ये होता है ना कि अच्छा दोस्तों ने साथ में कर लिया, but you never hear कि अच्छा कपल एक साथ जो है ना एक्सट्रीम एडवेंचर स्पोर्ट्स कर रहा है या एक्सट्रीम ऐसे ट्रैवल कर रहे हैं कि कैंप्स में सो रहे हैं और टेंट्स में सो रहे हैं और यू नो लाइक बजट पर ट्रैवल कर रहे हैं, बैक पैकिंग कर रहे हैं. So we were like, yeah, we want to bring firstly that kind of travel, and especially as a couple, and also make content. फिर एक second driving force भी थी कि premium quality content. Like that was the second driving force कि we want to bring a certain standard of content into Pakistan, which we at that time felt it was really, really lacking, especially in the travel content industry. You know कि यार लोग उस तरह शूट नहीं कर रहे, फिल्म नहीं कर रहे जिस तरह होना चाहिए, especially पाकिस्तान को उस तरह नहीं दिखा रहे, and from a couple's perspective, you know. So yeah, that was the driving force. तो हमें बहुत interesting मिला, मतलब शुरू में तो when people didn't know us and we were a new page, तब तो बहुत आते थे clowns, jokers, पागल हो गए एंड अजीब अजीब ना, मतलब कि आई रिमेंबर इट वाज वन ऑफ आवर ट्रिप्स व्हेन वी ड्रोव द फायरबर्ड, द विंटेज कार फ्रॉम कराची टू पास्ट इस्लामाबाद खानपुर. तो उसमें हमने व्लॉग्स लगाए. तो ऑफ कोर्स लाइक इट वाज अ रोड ट्रिप, and we weren't staying at luxurious places. We were living at like guest houses, यहाँ वहाँ, मतलब budget travel था. So and filming and traveling, both of them together is tough. और गर्मी थी, जून का महीना था. उस पर मुझे आ रहे हैं इसके डार्क सर्कल्स. तो देखो अपने लग रहा है कोकेन करती है, लगता है ड्रग्स करती है लिटरली. एंड आई वाज लाइक
हम क्या इधर क्रिएट करें, किस चीज के बारे में बात करें, आप क्या कर रहे हो?
हाँ मैंने कहा मैं यहाँ पे रोड ट्रिप पे निकली हुई हूँ, ट्रैवल एंड फिल्मिंग, यू एक्सपेक्ट मी टू लुक लाइक प्रिम एंड प्रॉपर. मैं एक, हमारी गाड़ी में एसी भी नहीं था. वी वर इन अ 1975 45 years old कार, इसमें एसी नहीं है, गर्मी है, जून का महीना है. यू एक्सपेक्ट मी टू कवर माई डार्क सर्कल्स विद कंसीलर, रियली लाइक दैट्स व्हाट यू. एंड जस्ट बिकॉज माई डार्क सर्कल्स आर शोइंग, दैट ऑटोमेटिकली मीन दैट आई एम अ ड्रगी एंड आई एम ऑन कोकेन. And just because I was like hyper and loud, they were like, पक्का ना ये लगा के आई है लिटरली दिस. एंड हिज फ्रेंड, ही टैग्ड हिज फ्रेंड कि ये पक्का ना करके आई है कुछ. वो भी करे हाँ लग रहा है, आंखें तो देख इसकी यार. लाइक दैट्स हाउ आई इमेजिन देम टॉकिंग. ऑफ कोर्स इट वाज अ कमेंट. तो एंड लाइक हाँ पक्का लग रहा है, इसकी आंखें तो देखो यार, फुल नशीली ड्रगी टाइप, राइट. सो ये एंड देन यही कि कार्टून्स, हमें अभी रिसेंटली आया कि ओ आप कंटेंट क्रिएटर कम और कार्टून क्रिएटर ज़्यादा लगते हैं. तो मैंने कहा एज लॉन्ग एज वेरी जेन्युइन एंड ओरिजिनल, आई एम ओके विद दैट. यू थिंक आई एम अ कार्टून, आई एम ओके दैट, बिकॉज एज लॉन्ग एज आई एम हु आई एम, दैट्स इट, राइट. तो ये बहुत आ रहे हैं कि यार कार्टून हैं और जोकर्स हैं और क्लाउन हैं और पागल हैं, हंसते रहते हैं, पागल रहते हैं. एंड इट्स
तो अच्छी बात है.
हाँ नहीं, लोगों को खुशी पे भी प्रॉब्लम है. आप खुश क्यों हैं, आप हंस क्यों रहे हैं, व्हाई यू लाफिंग सो मच, लाइक व्हाई यू सो हैप्पी ऑल द टाइम, व्हाई यू लाफिंग सो मच. एंड मैं क्या कहने वाली थी, बिल्कुल मैं भूल गई. एक बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग चीज़ मुझे किसी ने बोली थी, अरे मजे की बात थी. ओह चलो कोई बात नहीं, आ जाएगी बीच में याद. सो सो दे कीप सेइंग दोस काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स बिकॉज दे जस्ट कांट टेक इट कि एक कपल क्यों इतना खुश है और क्यों इतना एक्साइटेड है और हैप्पी है, तो ये अच्छा आ गई मुझे बात यार. तो ये एक एक्सट्रीम था. और दूसरा एक्सट्रीम ये था कि यू राइट कि पीपल आर नॉट यूज्ड टू सीइंग सच कपल्स ऑन कैमरा. तो काफ़ी लोग तो हमें कहते हैं कि हाँ बहन भाई लगते हैं. Which is so funny because they're not used to seeing a couple who's like so carefree, कि दूसरे को तंग कर रहे. Like I don't know if you've noticed that, but we like pulling each other's leg because that's the relationship we have. जो off camera है वही on camera. Like we don't try to be extra romantic on camera because जैसे हम असल में हैं हम वैसे ही हैं.
हमारा भी है कि we're not romantic.
हाँ हम भी ऐसे इतने ज़्यादा वैसे नहीं हैं. हम कभी मजाक भी करते हैं यार, अगर हम रोमांटिक होते ना, क्या हमारे लाइक्स आ रहे होते, क्या व्यूज आ रहे होते, अगर आपने मुझे यहाँ गोदी में उठा लिया होता, ट्वर्ल कर लिया होता ना. और
वो जो क्विंटेसेंशियल आपके रोमांटिक कपल पोजेस होते हैं ना, लाइक वी कांट डू दैट आइदर. और वो घुमाना और वो चीजें करना, लाइक
हम कभी कभी कर लेते हैं बट हर वक्त तो नहीं हो रहा होता ना. तो स्पेशली इन स्टोरीज एंड स्टफ व्हिच इज लाइक पुलिंग ईच अदर्स लेग एंड टीजिंग ईच अदर. एंड हम किसी ने किसी का खाना खा लिया या छुपा लिया. तो इतने मुझे ये आए कमेंट्स एंड इनबॉक्सेस के मेरे भाई की ये याद आती है मुझे ये देख के ना, बहन भाई, आप लोग बहन भाई लगते हैं. एंड मुझे बस हंसी आती है. लाइक आई डोंट टेक इट नेगेटिवली बट इट्स जस्ट फनी बिकॉज it's just like
people are used to
इतना
looking at partners a certain way.
हाँ तो मुझे बहुत DMs भी आते हैं कि how are you guys so like easy to talk to each other and how's your relationship so good and communication so good because you're right कि people expect, because as you said कि एक तो ये कि इसकी भी दो layers हैं, कि एक तो they don't expect couples to be on camera together in a way, and then secondly if they do then there's a typical way that they expect a couple to look like. guy taller होगा लड़की से बहुत ज़्यादा, एक certain look होगी, लड़की cute सी pretty सी शर्मीली होगी, लड़का हट्टा कट्टा tall handsome होगा, उसको गोदी में उठाएगा, like that perfect heterosexual couple जो एक होता है बिल्कुल typical,
perfect, हाँ
perfect day dreaming romantic couple time. या तो फिर वो लोग की expectation होती है because that's the way they've been conditioned through movies and shows and films and everything, the guy is wooing her and this and that blah blah. And and then when they see us they're like okay, because especially the fact that I'm a year and a quarter older than Fahad, so that's another way. They're like, oh, what, you're older than Fahad? And then
that's not something that's
people
normal.
Are used to. And then secondly, I recently, like in we were doing a ask me question type of a sticker thing जो होती, तो उसमें पता नहीं किसी ने कुछ हमारे शादी के बारे में पूछा था या कुछ, तो उसमें मैंने I disclosed the fact that in the beginning I asked, हाँ उन्होंने कहा था कि proposal किसने propose किया था? Yeah, it was the assumption thing, and I was like make an assumption. तो किसी ने assume किया कि Amtul proposed Fahad, and I was like it's kind of true because I asked him to marry me first, and he said no. Because he wasn't ready, which I appreciate so much now, because if you're not ready, don't get into anything, be it a relationship or whatever. If you're not ready, you shouldn't do it, right? So he wasn't ready at that point, because especially he was younger than me, so he was still figuring out his life and everything. I was older than him, so I felt I was more ready to get married, and he wasn't. तो मैंने ये disclose किया था कि like I kind of asked him to marry me first, and he said no because he wasn't ready. उस पे तो लोग, they're like, what? How? Like, then how are you together today? Like, what happened, you know? So even the fact that a girl can pop up the question first, you know? Like, and I did pop up the question first that, you know, yeah, let's get married. And they were like, what? Like, you being a girl, you asked him, Moby. And then he also said no to you. And even then it worked out like how? And it wasn't like he said no because, oh, I hate you, get lost. No, he was just like, man, I love you and I want to be with you. But right now I'm not ready at this point. And if you can and want to wait, you can. Otherwise, you can do whatever you want. And actually, I did try to find other guys. I'll be honest. मैंने कहा ठीक है यार, यहाँ तो कुछ नहीं बनने वाला, दाल नहीं गलने वाली, scene off है. And I was like, okay, cool. And I tried to like, I was like, okay, I'll keep my door open. If I meet somebody else, I'll probably marry somebody else. And I was really like close to marrying someone else, which I can't even imagine. Yeah, like really close to it, with just goosebumps आ जाते हैं मुझे ये सोच के भी, like yeah, and then it just worked out because I think at the back of my head I still was in love with Fahad, and with the other guy I was just making a compromise, just settling in, you know, just settle for whatever you're getting. And then thankfully मेरा दिमाग clear, I was like, okay, what am I doing? No, I don't want to marry this guy. No, just because I don't have Fahad doesn't mean कि कोई भी मुझे किसी से भी शादी कर लूँ. So I was like, no. So here, that's another story. But it's not like I waited for him or really pursued him or wooed him or anything. It was just meant to be.
Happened.
Yeah, because we were still very good friends and we were doing our own things, and then it just happened that we met. Because he was in America, I was here, so hum log mile, and then you were like, okay, you know what, I think we both are ready. Let's get married. We're ready. So so you know, like, so things like these people don't expect, you know, from you. And I feel like it's important to talk about them, because अगर किसी की जिंदगी में कुछ ऐसा हो रहा है, then they can relate to it and they don't feel alone, because that's what I felt when I spoke about some of these issues, like especially like this thing that I'm older than Fahad, and I popped up the question and he said no, or the fact when I shared my story about like my body image issues, and then when so many people like comment and you know, they're like, oh my god, like thank you for saying this, like, and then you feel like shit, man, like there's so many more people who are going through the same thing and they feel alone. And when you talk about something like this, there's so many people
it helps them.
Like at least like even the bare minimum, okay, thank God I'm not the only one. And I think even that makes such a big difference when somebody gets the feeling through you, okay, I'm not alone, I'm not weird or you know, like stupid to feel this way. It's normal. It happens with other people too. So that's why I feel like these kind of conversations are very important, you know.
So ये जो body image वाली चीज़ थी, what was that?
Yeah, so okay, so like what I've seen in my acting career, it has happened to me a lot of times actually. Like a couple of times I didn't get a role because I wasn't like thin enough, you know, and not that the character required me to be a certain way.
You were not thin enough.
हाँ, नहीं actually वो lumps की बात है तब. खैर, like I wasn't. उस वक्त I had gained a little bit of weight also, but regardless of that, whether I was this or that way, because देखो, as an actor I understand that there are certain characteristics or features you need to fulfill to be a character. For example, अगर character लिखा गया किसी के लिए that a guy who looks a short guy with this kind of eyes, or I get that if that's a character requirement.
That makes sense.
You know, okay, for example, it's a character written for an army officer, for example. So I need a tall, broad guy. Chalo, I get that.
Yeah.
But just role के लिए मैं reject हुई थी. It was just like yeah, like I wasn't pretty or thin enough. Get it? There's a difference. That
Visually
wasn't-
appealing hona bas.
Yes,
It doesn't
yes.
have to do with the role.
Yes, it was nothing to do with the role. It was just a visually appealing thing, as you said. Exactly, spot on. So that happened with me when I was in Lums. Because it was a musical and we were required to dance, and I don't want to brag, but I could dance pretty well. And they took the audition and everything, and they liked me and everything, and at the end that's what they told me, that you weren't just thin, pretty enough.
Okay.
So I got the supporting role, I didn't get the main role. So I was like, okay. And then उसके बाद भी like बहुत दफ़ा ये हुआ है कि acting field में, you know, like your body really comes into question, which is so weird. Like it's not a character requirement. It's nothing. It's just that you will be rejected or accepted based on your body. Like I always felt like that was really weird. Like your acting and your talent should come first, right? But ऐसा नहीं होता. Like no, your body comes first. It matters more. Like you need to look a certain way. You need to
Even if you're fulfilling all the skill and talent requirements.
which really got to me. I was like, okay, so like looks really matter more than talent and skills. Wow. And then a couple of years back, I was doing a DVC. 2 साल पुरानी बात हो गई. I was doing a DVC and I was acting and stuff. And उसमें भी ये हुआ कि like it was so weird and it was so embarrassing. Like, so they arranged the clothes, right? The wardrobe and everything, and they knew my size and everything. मैंने सब कुछ दिया था and everything. And it, like, and I wore the shirt and I came, and the whole discussion was about my boobs. Okay, how they're looking big in those clothes.
Oh my God.
Can you believe it? And it wasn't like even a revealing, like it was a normal t-shirt, like a gold gala, full sleeves. They made me wear a lot of things, kuch full thi, kuch half thi, but normal, very normal tops, t-shirts, gold gala type, very. And they made me change so many tops because my boobs were looking big. And not even like, you've seen me. इतने भी मतलब it wasn't like looking vulgar or anything. मतलब ऐसा कुछ वो नहीं था कि cleavage दिख रही है या बहुत ही pop out in your face or no. They just look big and like curvy and like you could see the shape or what. And it was so weird. Like I was like, okay then. And like imagine like I'm at the set, we're about to roll and stuff, and they're just like, yeah, her boobs look weird. Yeah, make her change her shirt because. And I was like, that's like, you know, and then their argument was like, oh, because you know, like the audience is conservative and this and that. And I was like, but I'm not even wearing anything like revealing or that vulgar. Like it is just the fact because the audience is used to seeing a woman who's like skinny and like covered up and draped up and like dheele kapde and khulla dupatta and this and that, you know, like the conventional woman. Like that's what, because it was a DVC, so they were like conventional, because the product bhi thoda sa conventional tha, household product tha, so they were like, and I was just like then we should try to change it maybe or what, because it just got to me कि लोग स्क्रीन पे बस एक पतली दुबली लड़की देखना चाहते हैं जो एक बस कपड़े में ढापी हुई हो और जिसमें उसके शेप्स और कर्व्स और फिगर्स नहीं नज़र आ रहे हो. ठीक है, अच्छा ये हुआ. इसके बाद अभी रिसेंटली एक और चीज़ हुई. I was filming something, and that wasn't a DVC, that was a content piece which was supposed to go on my platform as Amtul Baweja and everything. And they were like, okay, we're gonna film you. Pehle to maine kaha acha, okay, because content creation means that I should be able to make it myself. But they were like, no, we will film you. I was like, okay. But यहाँ पे मैंने बहुत लड़ा. मैंने कहा, no, I want to film it myself. But they were like, okay, but we'll come to your studio and we'll oversee it. I was like, okay. The brand was there, the agency was there. Okay, they all were there to oversee कि nothing goes wrong. So it was एक था morning scene मुझे करना था, waking up from bed, this and that. They were like, wear a night suit or whatever. तो अभी आजकल वो चले हुए थे ना tie and dye वाले sweat, matching sweat. They look so cute. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna wear this and everything. The tie and dye. I think you also have it. तुम्हारे देख के मैंने लिया था.
I have it.
Yeah. So वही dye pop. Yeah. I saw you and I got that. It was really cute. I really liked it. So I was like, okay. So वही जो sweatshirt with the loose pajamas and everything. So I wore that. तो in the beginning तो वो बार बार आके मुझे बोले ना कि आपका पेट दिख रहा है, आपका पेट, इसको ना प्लीज संभाल के ज़रा पेट ज़रा. I was like, okay, चलो. Till then I didn't have an issue. I was like, चलो ठीक है, okay, fine.
Makes sense.
They were like, audience ये वो ठीक है, okay. I was like, fine. So I made sure that my pants were high and like nothing was that revealing or anything. And then हमने पूरा फिल्म किया, like me waking, I have to take a nangda, I have to walk, this and that and everything. ये हो गया. उसके बाद था एक नाइट सीन जिसमें I just had to wear like pants and a sweater, literally nothing. फिल्म हो गया, सब कुछ हो गया. उसके बाद they tell me कि ये सब कुछ फिर से reshoot होना होगा. And I was like, why? Because your clothes weren't appropriate. And I was like, what? And why? Because so there was a back shot of me walking, and because my butt was showing. And not like exposed, it's just that my butt was there. कि आपकी butt आ गई है shot में. You know, ये shot हमें हटाना है पहले तो, because आपकी butt आ गई है. क्योंकि पीछे तो shot था, I was just walking. And I know, okay, fine, I have a big butt. But that's what got to me, कि okay, like to be able to...
The problem is that I have a big butt. It's not,
the problem.
Yeah, it's
right?
not the audience. It's not that you're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
Or like, something is showing or anything of that sort. But
this is the beginning. And then उसके बाद भी... And then
the body type is not fitting well.
Yeah, क्योंकि बड़ा है ना butt, छोटा butt दिखाना है. हमें भी screen पे छोटे butts दिखाने हैं. हमें कुछ बड़े butts, you know, like... because... as soon as you have a little bit of like meat on you as a woman, it becomes vulgar, which really, really irks me. कि थोड़े से आपके hips थोड़े से बड़े हैं, या अगर आपकी butt थोड़ी सी बड़ी है, boobs हल्के से बड़े हैं, it's vulgar.
Yeah.
Why?
This is how my body is.
Yeah,
what do I do? And I relate to this so much. Like this is how I am.
Yeah, and I want to dress the way I want. And especially if you're not even revealing any skin or being vulgar, you're just being cute, you're just following the trend. You want to wear high-waisted
clothes
jeans.
You want to wear.
Exactly. Bottom line that. Yeah, इसके आगे हमें कुछ बोलना भी नहीं चाहिए. I'm just wearing what I want to wear. Which is like, you know... अच्छा, तो ये हुआ कि या एंड देन एक बीच में मुझे यूँ अंगड़ाई टाइप करनी थी, तो हल्का सा ये लिफ्ट हो गया ना, लाइक इतनी सी कि ये आपका पेट नजर आ गया. मैंने कहा जब आप वहाँ पे थे पहली बात तो आप क्या कर रहे थे उस पर? यू कुड हैव टोल्ड मी और समथिंग आफ्टर शूटिंग एवरीथिंग, यू वांट टू रीशूट इट. उसके बाद भी इतना बड़ा इशू हुआ. देन आई वाज लाइक फाइन, लेट्स शूट इट अगेन. I got another night suit, which was like a white night suit with like black polka dots. It's my actual night suit, which is like really loose and ढीला. उस पे भी प्रॉब्लम थी कि it wasn't loose enough. Okay, it wasn't loose enough, and it was such a bad time for me because Zuko was on the deathbed. My thigh was on the deathbed. Okay, मैं अपने घर में shoot कर रही हूँ because they didn't want to film in my studio. They were like घर पे, and I was like, okay, then I had to go to my parents' house and shoot there. And my parents नीचे बेचारे वो दुआ चल रही थी Zoom पे for my thigh. So there's a dua happening, and ऊपर I'm dealing with issues like your clothes aren't loose enough, and I was like, why am I even here? And I don't deserve this. This is not what I worked hard for, you know, to listen to this shit like this. Okay, two of my family members are struggling with life, you know, and I'm here trying to please people who don't think that my body
is good enough for this shoot.
Good enough for these clothes, even. Not even screen like these clothes because they're not loose enough. And it was a night suit. It was actually loose. And I was like, यार मैं यही पहन के सोती हूँ because these are comfortable. They're actually loose. मुझे like कुर्ता शलवार पहन के सोए आप. मैंने कहा ठीक है लोग पहले मैंने कहा कौन सोता है, मैंने कहा ठीक है सोते होंगे लोग, ओके फाइन, बट आई डोंट. आई वाज लाइक यू गॉट Amtul Baweja, दिस इज नॉट अ मूवी. देखो एज अ कंटेंट क्रिएटर एंड एक्टर आई अंडरस्टैंड द डिफरेंस. एज एन एक्टर यू प्लेइंग अ रोल. मैंने कहा यार अभी मैंने चुड़ैल्स मूवी की, उसमें आई वाज अ प्रोस्टिट्यूट, ओके, एंड आई प्लेड दैट रोल बिकॉज आई न्यू it was a character I need to play. I wore tight clothes
that had nothing to do with Amtul. Basically,
I wore kurtas with jeans. I wore tacky ass shit. That was okay because my character required me to do that. Right now, you hired Amtul to create content by Amtul on my page
it represents
as Amtul. Yeah. I was like, Amtul doesn't sleep with the kurta on, so I will not.
That's a lie. That would be a lie.
Yeah. Because कहने को तो क्या होता है यार ये कपड़े ही तो हैं, आप इतना बड़ा इशू बना रही हैं कपड़ों पे. And I was like, no, it's not just clothes. It's my identity. It's my personality.
A lot of the time, brand side doesn't understand that. They will make you do things that are not you, and you're like, no, listen, that is ingenuine towards my audience also, because this is not who I am.
How I dress.
Why are you making me look like this?
Yeah, I don't wake up wearing a kurta. I don't. Maybe people do, and then they were like, अच्छा, but you know what? ये white है. White is more light colors are revealing. मैंने कहा यार, they like कोई dark color का नहीं है आपके पास. And you know, they weren't saying it, and I got okay. मैंने कहा चल let me look. मेरे पास नहीं था. मैंने कहा यार नहीं है मेरे पास. मैं अभी all over the place हूँ. Zuko is sick. My thigh is sick. My whole family.
And you were also already reshooting. And
yes, I was reshooting. And I was reshooting at my parents' house. जहाँ पे मेरे सारे कपड़े नहीं थे. Like it was crazy. And I was like, And they didn't even tell me the requirements from before. उस वक्त आके मुझे ऑन स्पॉट बोले, मैंने कहा आपने कहीं ब्रीफ में लिखा हुआ है कि डार्क कपड़े पहने, लूज कपड़े पहने,
पहले से होता, पता है पहले से होना तो इट्स फाइन.
हाँ, फिर मैं मना कर रही थी, मैंने कहा दिस इज नॉट हु आई एम, आई डोंट वेयर क्लोथ्स लाइक दिस. दे लाइक वी हैव टू अपील टू हाउसवाइफ्स. आई एम लाइक, do I look like someone who appeals?
No, then get someone who is.
I was like, फिर आपने मुझे
get somebody else. You're hiring the wrong person for the wrong job, and then you expect them to do it right.
Yeah, फिर I'll tell you what happened. उन्होंने कहा नहीं, लाइट कलर से डार्क कलर होता तो छुप जाता, ज़्यादा बेहतर. They weren't saying the word, but बेहतर लगता अगर डार्क होते तो you know अच्छा. Then the brand is telling the camera man कि यार इसको ना आप ना साइड से नहीं शूट करेगा और पीछे से नहीं करेगा. Like of course my hips and my butt doesn't show. आगे से और zoomed in shot और ये वो ना. And I'm right there, and the way they're talking about me and my body, it's so embarrassing.
It's humiliating because they're talking about your body.
Yes,
this is flat out body shaming.
Yes,
this entire incident, it's not about कपड़े बॉडी ढांपना. दिस नॉट अबाउट कपड़े सही कौन से होते हैं, बुरे कौन से होते हैं, गलत. दिस वाज जस्ट बॉडी शेमिंग.
एग्जैक्टली,
द एंटायर थिंग.
इसको इस तरह यहाँ से फिल्म करना, आगे से, साइड से नहीं, पीछे से नहीं. एंड आई एम राइट देयर एंड शी इज टॉकिंग लाइक आई एम नॉट इवन इन द रूम. एंड क्योंकि मैं जब भी ना मेकअप करने जाती थी या कुछ करने जाती थी बनाने, तो ये बात, एंड आई एम इन द सेम रूम, लाइक जस्ट इन अ डिफरेंट कॉर्नर.
What's going on? You're not dumb.
And I came out and I was like, you know what, I can hear everything. I'm right here in the room. और मैंने इतनी सुनाई उनका, मैंने कहा I know what the issue is. I know I have big boobs, big ass. I said all these words. I was like, yeah, I know my curves are a problem. Yeah, because I'm really curvy. I have big hips and big boobs and a big ass, and you don't want to show that on camera. The next time, get a skinny content creator who can fit in your type. You know, मैंने तो सुना दी उनको. मैंने कहा then don't come to me. You've seen my Instagram. You know how I dress, how I am. If you don't want that, then why are you here? And then जो second कपड़े थे ना, हम ना वो एक jeans और एक sweater था, normal, not even a crop sweater, normal sweater. They were like लंबा sweater पहने अपने घुटनों तक. मैंने कहा भाई कौन ऐसे sweaters, मैं तो नहीं पहनती, मतलब आपने मुझे देखा है. They're like लंबा, अपने hips को cover, मतलब वही ना बार बार वही imply हो रहा है कि cover your hips and ass, you know. लंबा sweater. मैंने कहा क्या हो गया यार, लंबा sweater मैं क्यों पहनूं जब ना मेरे पास है और ना मैं पहनती हूँ, मैं कहाँ से लाऊं. या तो आप पहले स्पेसिफाई करते ये सब कुछ. फिर वही कि we appeal to this you know masses and the housewives, and I was like then get somebody who does that, because this is not who I am and I will not change myself. So yeah, this is what happened to me, and it really irked me, and I was like, I want to talk about this. So I spoke about this in my recent post, और उसमें when I got a lot of people, you know, a lot of girls who were like, thank you for saying this, because if you look at a typical South Asian women's body, it is curvy. We are pear-shaped. A lot of women are pear-shaped. And as you grow older, you do become more and more pear-shaped. You do have a heavier lower body. A lot of women do. So I don't know who these brands and media is appealing to by showing these skinny, thin girls who have no curves at all, who are just straight, flat, आगे से पीछे से हर जगह से.
जैसे ऐसे औरतें तो एग्जिस्ट ही नहीं करती.
हाँ, and even a lot of clothing brands do that, man. I have so many friends who struggle.
And then the point is just flawed. So when they're saying that we're trying to appeal to the women of this country, they don't look like this.
That's what I'm saying.
So
who are they appealing to?
Relatability. So if that's the point that they gave you, then that's wrong, because this is not how the average woman looks.
Yeah, it's not.
The average woman is curvy. The average woman has a shape.
Exactly. is just that.
Why don't you want to represent her?
Why don't you want to?
You don't want to represent her because she's not appeling.
Yeah,
visually which she is, by the way, but not
for your standards or whatever.
For your not quintessentially, you know. तो वो वाला problem है.
Yeah.
And I feel like इस entire situation में they did a poor job on their own end, where they didn't do enough research on the person that they were trying to hire for what they were trying to create. So for you don't do your homework well, and then you
try to change someone,
and then you make them feel so bad.
I felt so humiliated and insulted, and oh my god. And like I also feel like even if they had found someone, like if they'd done their homework and found someone who fits that criteria, even then that's problematic at some area.
Definitely.
You know, so this was again a twofold problem.
Like दोनों problem है ना.
Yeah.
आप जो है relatability की बात कर रहे हो, but you're not showing the truth.
Exactly.
You're not talking about that. You are missing out, and you are basically not wanting to represent a certain kind of women, and that's wrong in itself. You know?
That's what the problem really
is.
gets to me.
Yeah.
You know. So that was one thing. When I spoke about it in my post, so a lot of girls, related to it and spoke about it. Okay, thank you for saying it, because yes, it happens to us on a daily basis. Like getting dressed daily becomes a task, because you're like, okay, what looks good on my body, and not even that, what is acceptable on my body.
Yeah.
Not even looking good, like what's acceptable.
Yeah.
बस एक किसी का आया था कमेंट, जिंदगी में इससे भी और बड़े इश्यूज हैं प्लीज. This girl, like, please stop whining. There are bigger issues in life. मेरे जिंदगी में और भी बड़े मसले हैं. And I was like, I'm really sorry.
और उनको कोई deny नहीं कर रहा.
Yeah, ये कौन है? मैंने कहा यार, yes, your problems in your own place, and I'm really sorry with whatever you're going through, but it doesn't take away from other problems that exist. It doesn't mean that we don't talk about other issues. ये भी एक नया है ना कि इतने बड़े people are dying of hunger.
What are you know?
And you're talking about women
and body image,
body issues, and I'm like, यार वो अपनी जगह issue, ये अपनी जगह है. Don't compare that. Yeah, so this is what happened.
So I've in my entire this conversation with you, I realized that through everything that you're doing and all the stories that you shared with me, you've constantly been breaking a lot of stereotypes and lots of conventional mindsets and ideologies, and you're doing that through your content and everything that you do, and you feel really strongly about these things as well. And I really appreciate that the way that you're doing it is not through attacking, is not through offending other people. It's simply through comedy, it's simply through content, it's simply through by example. It's by normalizing things. And just putting that out there for people to normalize. And that's a really good way of doing something that a lot of people might be doing. Not that they're not doing a good job, but I just feel like this is a more positive approach to creating change in a very subtle way. So I think that's great, and you've been doing a really good job at it.
Thank you.
कि लोगों के लिए normal हो कि इस तरह होता है.
I think the biggest thing that I could do was like, just be yourself.
Yeah.
Like that's something that I just keep reminding myself and keep telling myself, okay, it's okay. Like you might not fit in a box a lot of times. You might not be the typically pretty girl or very visually appealing girl, or like
the soft spoken.
Yeah, like or the best, like well spoken or like well informed or whatever. Just be yourself. Like, that's something that I keep reminding myself. That's the biggest thing that you can at least do in this world where we're so easy, like so quick to judge others, especially girls, like who feel like they can't be a certain way or talk a certain way or dress a certain way or do a lot of things. And so I'm like, just be yourself. Like, that's, I think, the most you can do for yourself, and I think maybe for others also, especially other women.
It's simply about being yourself, whether you are a soft-spoken and polite person or you are not.
Exactly. That's what I mean.
What's important is who you are.
Yeah, so people get to see that there are all sorts of people.
And it's okay to be them.
Yeah, they all are good people. They all are, right in their own way, because that's who they are, that's what they believe in, and that's okay at the end, right? Everybody doesn't need to fit a certain box or a type or a criteria,
It's okay to be an outlier. It's okay to be crazy. It's okay to be yourself.
And it's also okay to fit right in, to be a normal person. I'm an average normal person.
That's okay.
That's also okay. You don't have any weird things about you, or you're not very that's okay too. Just be who you are. That's it. You don't need to try too hard to be, oh my god, I want to be unique, I want to be different. Ab itna bhi nahi, So it's okay. Like, whoever you are, the way you are, it's beautiful.
Yeah, that's
just
a lovely
be
message.
Just be you. That's it.
And I think that is definitely the crux of this entire podcast that we've had today is to be yourself.
Yeah, that's my biggest motto, man. Like that's my biggest thing that I live by. Just be yourself. That's it.
And I think that's so important for women these days.
Yeah. Yeah.
So thank you, Tul, for taking out the time to do
Thank
this
you,
with me.
Hamna, for having me.
All the way from Karachi, taking that flight for me.
Yeah.
But बहुत मजा आया.
मुझे भी बहुत
Such
मजा
a
आया.
great
लगता है
time
मेरा दिल
talking.
हल्का हो गया.
Good, I'm glad.
Yeah, it felt really good. Like I wanted to do this. I wanted to talk about anything and everything, you know, not hold back and censor anything.
Yeah, you know what our motto is here at Happy Chirp?
By the people. By women for women, isn't it?
No, it's where women do the talking.
Sorry, it was something like that. I was like, I'm sorry. But I knew it was something. By the people, for the people.
Where women do the talking.
Yes, I remember this. Yes,
Yeah. So,
great. You were a great host. Like you let me talk so much because you know, kabhi होता है ना कि like I feel like am I talking so much? Am I talking too much? But Hamna was like, दिल खोल के बातें कर.
हाँ, मैं start में हमेशा अपने guest को यही कहती हूँ कि just talk about
like,
things you want to talk about. Yeah.
So thank you for having me and letting me talk about all these crazy things.
Yeah, no, I'm glad. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Happy Chirp. बहुत मजा आया मुझे अमतुल से बात करके. Such a refreshing conversation, and again, such a great energy you bring to the table. So,
Thank you.
I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. If you don't know about Amtul, I'm sure you do though. But she is on Instagram as Amtul Baweja, and she has a platform with her husband called Patangir, and they make some amazing content there. It's so refreshing, it's so different, and it is so well done. So do watch it, and thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.